Good morning and welcome to the Mancunian way. It is a start of another week and don't be down blues. I know you're probably feeling a little bit downhearted today. You're feeling like the Rags felt a couple of weeks back when we smashed him in the derby. I know you're feeling a bit glum, a bit down, but come and join us at the Mancunian way, Daily News in 10 to brighten up that Monday morning for you all. And what we're going to talk about this morning is what has happened this weekend. What we've decided to do is, on a Monday in the Daily News in 10, we've quite simply decided to do a Premier League roundup. A little short, bite-sized, a little snack all about the Premier League and exactly what has gone on in the weekend that has just passed. So we're going to kick off with Saturday. No, we're going to kick off with Friday. I do apologise. There was a game on Friday night. And it was Brentford at the Brentford Community Stadium taking on newly managed and high-flying the Seagulls, Brighton and Hove Albion. And Ivan Toney is on the goal hunt again, getting himself a cheeky little brace with 2 goals. One was a penalty in the 27th and 64th minute, which is actually a bit of a shock result, if I'm totally honest with you, because Brighton have been doing okay, but recently, a couple of little dodgy results, which has sadly dropped him down the table a little bit. It really has, believe it or not, shocked a lot of people. So, yeah, well done to Thomas Frank's men for getting themselves a very important 3 points, because Brentford were a lot of people's pick for that second season syndrome of going back down to the Championship. What we're going to do now, we're going to move on to our next game, which is on Saturday, and that was at the King Power Stadium of a very dour, very boring 0-0 between Brendan Rodgers' Foxes, Leicester City, and Patrick Vieira's Eagles Crystal Palace. Now, Leicester City have not had a great start to the season. We know about the troubles that have gone on at the King Power, and we know Patrick Vieira is trying to mould and build a team. Doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take a few years, but Patrick Vieira is trying his best. So, really, I'm not sure who looks upon that as a better result. Probably Palace, because a point away from home is better than nothing. But Leicester City will see that as a bit of resolve. Sadly for them, obviously Maddison got booked, so he's out now for the, I think he's suspended until the 23rd of October, I believe. So he could be out. I think there's midweek games coming up as well. The next game we're going to move on to is at Craven Cottage, and that was finished 2 newly promoted sides of Fulham versus Bournemouth, which ended in a Desmond 2-2 draw. AFC Bournemouth did take a very, very early lead thanks to Dominic Solanke, and then Diop got himself a little equaliser. Lerma then gave the Cherries the lead at the Cottage, but Mitrovic, that man, Johnny on the spot, got himself, and it was literally on the spot, a little penalty to give Fulham a share of the spoils down at the Cottage. So what we're going to do now is move on to another team, a battle of the bottom team at the moment. Still managerless, not even a word, managerless Wolverhampton Wanderers, the Wolves and Nottingham Forest. Now, could the Wolves get themselves out of the Forest? And they certainly did with a Neves penalty. A lot of penalties this weekend here in the Premier League. Referees in the spotlight again. Wait till we get to the City result from yesterday. Neves with a 56-minute penalty, giving Wolves all 3 points. Now, this is actually a tale of 2 penalties. One scored and one missed. Johnson did miss a penalty to even things up for newly promoted, big spending Nottingham Forest, but Johnson missed his penalty in the 79th minute to give Wolves all 3 points. And it looks like possibly Nuno Santos could be going back to Wolves. We'll keep an eye on that and let you know here on the Mancunian Way if there's any movement on that. The next game was the evening late kickoff between Tottenham Hotspur and Frank Lampard's Toffees. And all I've heard since that game is Harry Kane is an absolute superstar and a wonder. And Harry Kane got himself on the score sheet again. Another penalty in the Premier League. Told you it was a tale of the PKs this weekend. Harry Kane, 59th minute. And they're all roughly in the same time, like in the 50th minute. Imagine if you had a bet on that. All these penalties in the 50th minute. In like 52, 55, 56, 59. You'd have been quids in by now. But yeah, Kane giving Tottenham the lead at the new White Hart Lane, and then Højbjerg with a late decider giving the Lily Whites a 2-0 win over the Toffees. So keeping Tottenham high flying in that table. We then move on to yesterday's games, and we'll start at Aston Villa at Villa Park, where Chelsea, Graham Potter's newly sort of inspired, I think, because Chelsea are doing very well under Graham Potter. I do always say I did like him as a manager, and he's kind of moulding him into his inspiration. They are now starting to play some lovely football. But Mason Mount with a brace at Villa Park. Now, all intents and purposes, Steven Gerrard, Stevie Slippett, he's under a lot of pressure. There apparently was a lot of fans who left Villa Park with about 5-10 minutes left. Apparently it was the quickest I've ever seen Villa Park empty. But it was one of the best performances Villa have given in a few weeks as well. But so I don't think things are that rosy. So even though, yes, they got a 2-0 win, apparently Kepa was actually their man of the match and kept Villa at bay. But Villa, bang in trouble. Graham Potter, bang on the mark. We then move to fellow leaders. Arsenal, the Gunners, travelled to Ellen Road, which can always be a tricky place. Again, this was a tale of penalties, where Arsenal did come away with all 3 points. There was a delay to the kickoff. I think it started, and then the game did start, and then it had to be postponed for a little bit, or delayed, shall we say, due to, I think there was a power failure or something that happened within the ground. So the referee couldn't get any of his VAR decisions or goal line technology. It all just shut down within the ground. So they just couldn't use it anymore. So once the game did resume, Arsenal went on and got a 35th minute winner thanks to Wonder Kid himself, the man in form at the moment, Saka, thanks to an Odegaard assist. But Patrick Bamford did miss a 64th minute penalty for Leeds United. So Arsenal, they are trotting along nicely. And like I said last Thursday night, is it time we started giving the Gunners a little bit more respect? We then move on to the Swamp, where it was Man United versus Newcastle United, which ended with a goalless draw. Now, Newcastle did okay, unbeaten. They're drawing a lot of games at the moment, but they're not losing many. I think they've only lost one game all season. And United, Ronaldo, shall we say, tried himself a cheeky little goal. There was a free kick, and defended as he would, passed the ball back to their Newcastle goalkeeper. The Newcastle put the ball down to take the free kick, and Ronaldo ran over to put the ball into an empty net away from the goalkeeper, and then claimed that the defender kicking the ball back to the goalie was the free kick being taken. But quite rightly, the referee said, no, you're not getting away with that one. And booked Ronaldo, to the disappointment of the Old Trafford faithful. So, yeah, I don't know what to say about that game. Finished 0-0. Erik ten Hag was not an happy man, trust me, after the game. We then move on to St Mary's, where Southampton and West Ham United battled away for a point apiece. Southampton did take the lead through Prad, and then Declan Rice got a 64th minute equaliser in the second half to give a share of the spoils between the Saints and the Happy Hammers, the Irons. Big story that's coming out this week is apparently Southampton, as you know, the head of the youth recruitment at Manchester City left to go and take up a coaching role at Southampton, which is why Doza, Lavia, Banzuna, and one or two others went over to St Mary's. He is now going to leave Southampton, apparently take up a similar role at Chelsea. So I don't know where that does leave the Manchester City youngsters who were sold, obviously with a buyback. I don't know where that leaves them now. With Ralph Hasselhoff's men, I don't know where that actually does leave them. We'll keep an eye on that to see whether that does have any effect on these players moving forward, whether they will be given a chance. Because right now, Southampton, another team banging trouble and need to get out of it ASAP. But we'll keep an eye on that here at the Mancunian way. We then move on to the disappointing game. Liverpool, Manchester City, our team, our Blues, first defeat of the season in 10, thanks to a 76-minute kick and rush. And it was kick and rush, let's be honest. I know Liverpool fans won't like that, but it was. Alisson, well, it came from a Kevin De Bruyne free kick. That was the worst free kick I've ever seen in my history of free kicks. Kicked it straight into Alisson's arms, and Alisson just booted the ball all the way down the field to Mo Salah. Cancelo did have a bit of a brain fart, but a little bit of world-class technique there from Salah to control turn, and that little dink over Ederson into an empty net gave Liverpool all 3 points. It wasn't without its drama. Obviously, Manchester City had a goal disallowed in the second half from Phil Foden, because apparently there was a foul from Erling Haaland on Fabinho, even though it was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And also Jurgen Klopp was sent off for complaining too much that the foul for apparently on Salah from Bernardo was not given, even though the game was stopped when City were on the attack to send Klopp off. Didn't know you could do that. Thought you had to wait till the ball went out of play to do that. But hey ho, what do you do? Never seen a game where players are told to stop play to send a manager off. I always thought it was ball out of play. But yeah, there's where we are with the Premier League at the moment. There is a game on. There is no game, tonight. The only game tonight is in League One, which is Charlton Athletic take on Portsmouth. So what I will do for you now, I will give you the up-to-date table. Arsenal are top, 10 play, 27 points. City are still second, 10 play, 23 points. But Tottenham are bang with them, 10 play, 23 points. But City are ahead by goal difference and quite a way, 11 goals more than Tottenham. Chelsea have closed that gap on City and Tottenham to 4 points. They're on 19 from 9 played with a game in hand. United, 5th, 9 played, 16 points, game in hand. Newcastle are 6th, squeaked into that Europa League spot. 10 games, 15 points. Brighton drop into 7th, 9 games, 14 points. Liverpool get themselves up to 8th, still 10 points behind Manchester City, and 13 points. 14 points. Hang on, work this out. 14 points behind the leaders. So Liverpool, not sure. They're still back in the title race. Not to say. The bottom line is Wolves have got themselves out of the bottom 3 with that win. Southampton have dropped into the bottom 3. Nottingham Forest go back bottom. Leicester, by the means of goal difference, go second bottom. Southampton go third bottom. Wolves are out. Villa, Leeds, Everton take a little bit of a plummet further down the league. So give us your thoughts in the comments. What do you think of this Premier League weekend? Has it been enjoyable? Has it been surprising? 9-10 games gone. Let's calm. Let's see what happens. Still got a World Cup to play yet as well. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that. We'll do this every Monday or every time there's been a Premier League set of fixtures. Not just one, but when there's been a full set of fixtures. But I hope you all have a wonderful Monday. Go back and watch the post-match from yesterday. There was myself, Xander, Rich, Ozzy and Vader on. And also go back and catch some of the highlights and the watch-along as well. But yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow at 7 a.m. on the Daily News in 10. Have a wonderful, wonderful Monday morning and Monday afternoon. Take care, Blues.